just found out that there is sort of a next chapter on this mRNA stuff, which I don't know if you've paid any attention. Have you noticed what's going on in Japan with the self-replicating mRNA?
No.
So there's a new version. Apparently, when the mRNA platform that we got was settled upon, there were some competing platforms that didn't make it. And those competing platforms are beginning to make their debut. And in Japan, there are currently protests over what's called a self-replicating mRNA vaccine. I think they call it a replicon. And so notice that the whole mRNA platform was really about doing away with the vaccine factory by turning you into a vaccine factory, right? Your cells became the vaccine factory. And there are reasons that a pharmaceutical company, especially an amoral one, would prefer that. So remember, one of the things that was done to make the mRNA vaccines that we got work was the mRNA transcript was stabilized with pseudouridine. All of the uracils that would ordinarily have been in that message were replaced by something chemically similar that is sometimes seen in nature, but the more of them you have, the more stable the molecule is. So when they told us the mRNA molecules were short-lived, we didn't have to worry about this shot because the mRNAs weren't going to last very long in our bodies, right? They would disappear. That was a lie. They had hyperstabilized these things. They've now given a Nobel Prize for the hyperstabilization process. They wanted to give a prize for the vaccines, and so they gave it for this narrow thing. I would argue maybe it's the worst design flaw in the entire thing, and that's saying something because there are a substantial number of design flaws. But these self-replicating mRNAs, the competing platform, borrows some machinery from something called an alpha virus. And that alpha virus, basically they take the genome of an alpha virus and they include the gene for the antigen that they want your body to develop an immunity to. But they include it along with some genes for proteins that allow the RNA to basically copy itself, right? So now, instead of taking a molecule of mRNA and putting it in lipid nanoparticle and making it hyperstable so it keeps making new messages, what they're going to do is they're going to allow the mRNA to duplicate itself.